So these are our weekend sales. All of these. And somewhere in here I spy a little lady. Oh, hey Melinda. How's it going?
These are our weekend sales. Let's find out what it all is. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. My name is Mel and this is my fantastic find of a husband, Adine. Together we are Hustlin' Hooks here and also over on Instagram.
Hey, you guys sound kind of stuffy. Are you stuffy? Yes, we're stuffy. Friday night it started. Our little one got ill, so we got sick. We're pretty sure it's just a common cold. We're feeling much better. She's feeling much better. So we're relieved. It was our first time ever getting sick as a family.
That's right, yeah. She's not even 2, but made it well past her first year without getting sick, so we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, and yeah, everybody's doing really well. So fantastic weekend sales. We didn't list anything on Friday, like maybe 1 or 2 things. We processed some returns, things like that. But yeah, we did well over $2,000 in gross sales this weekend, so really happy with that.
Yes, and once again, hodgepodge of items, so we're going to break it down as best we can by category. We did include a what sold for over $100 segment again. It was a number of things this weekend, so we'll do that as long as there's enough things to make that segment worth it. Otherwise, we'll just keep breaking it down by category. That way you can see what's more profitable or less profitable or what you like or don't like to sell. Hopefully, as always, there's some goodies in there that you haven't thought about selling before.
Yeah, we sold a decent amount of shoes again, and we did something a little bit different with shoes. Yeah, we're just trying to switch stuff up, as you know, saying the same thing over and over again isn't, you know, that entertaining, right? We want you guys to smile or laugh, you know, throughout these videos too, because otherwise it's just us going, this sold for $28. We also are going to include some shipping tips because somebody, like 3 of them, glass, huge lot of pots and pans, and a huge lot of geo-tracks.
Huge.
Yeah, and we'll share that.
And of course, at the end, we always go over our numbers, so make sure to stay tuned for that so you can see what resellers actually put in their pockets after a strong weekend of sales. We definitely like to break down the reality of reselling for you. This is what it sold for, and it looks great, and it sounds awesome, but what do we get to keep after that? That is the most important number, so stay tuned to find out what that is.
Yeah, and if you guys are not utilizing some way to document how much you're actually profiting, please do so. We do have a spreadsheet. We'll link down below if you're interested in it. We've talked about it before. If you don't want to purchase it, perfectly fine. Just do something. Make sure that you guys are recording your net profits per week, per day, however you want to do it, because it's going to make your taxes a lot easier, and it's going to give you a peace of mind. And like I've said so many times, especially on Instagram, like if let's say Melinda's dad comes up to us and says, Melinda, you married that guy and now he doesn't even have a job. How much money do you actually make? Can you tell them?
I'll be able to tell them almost to the penny what we bring in by day, by week, by month, by quarter, which is a great feature as well, especially if you plan on paying quarterly taxes. Yeah,
so make sure you guys know your numbers, especially if you're considering going full-time. So anyways, let's jump right into all of our sales. There's a lot to go over. Hope you guys enjoy the video.
Yeah, and if you do enjoy this content, please consider giving us the thumbs up and also subscribing to our channel if you haven't already. It does help us grow the channel, it helps us reach more people, helps us to help more people.
Yeah, for sure. We appreciate it. Let's get into it.
I'm going to be going over everything that sold for $100 or more. This is a newer segment that we introduced on our last What Sold, and people seem to like it. So we're going to stick with that as long as we have enough products that have sold over $100. 2 have already shipped out. I'm going to cover those first. The first one was an Ion. It's a VCR player, but the unique thing about this is that it converts VHSs into digital format as well. So that is unique about it. We had $7 into it and it sold for $98 on an offer. It's a little below 100, but close enough. We snuck it in there. The other one that we already shipped out was another VHS VCR player. It was by Panasonic, which is a great brand. It holds its value very well. That was not a combo unit. It was just the player and recorder. It did have the remote, and we always include AV cables. We have $20 into that one, and that sold for $105. And another VCR made the list for this. This one is Sony. Again, great brand, holds its value. It's a trusted electronics brand. It does have the remote with it, and again, AV cords are included. This one we have 25 into, and it sold for $110. These two sales also made the list. Both of these sets sold for over $100, and they're both pots and pans. We'll walk you through what's unique and what's special that pushed them over that $100. So the first one is this Revereware lot. As you can see, there's some good bigger pieces. Now when you're doing a lot, we always like to include at least one big ticket item. So this one is a bigger stock pot, and this one is a large 12-inch fry pan. So those alone hold their value. And then we take some of our smaller items and we lot them up because it's a better value for the buyer. As far as identifying vintage Revereware, the lids have these circles on them, and it's always best to sell with as many lids as possible. That will also increase your sell price. We had extra lids that we put on the different pots, as many as we could. It's just more appealing. And then the bottom is copper, and I'll try to zoom in here. Sometimes you can see the city, and sometimes those make good lots, just the same city. And sometimes they have something like under patent process, but the main thing is that it's copper bottom. These are from different eras. They aren't all from the same city. They don't all have the same mark, but they're all that copper bottom, which is what people like about these.
One thing I wanted to mention too is the condition of some of these. You can see like this is not perfect. This has some of these, they're kind of like super small dents, but this thing is super old. This one has that, they call it a double ring. It's really hard to see, and it's a patent pending. So we believe this is a before 1963 version. So with older pots and pans, you're gonna have wear on them. So don't stress it. And of course, when we clean them with steel wool, we do our best. But you can see that we're not gonna take the additional 5 minutes to try to get every single piece off of here. We do the best we can to make them shine. And you can see the inside of this is not perfect. But and the handlebars too, they're not perfect, but they still sell extremely well.
And this one sold for $175 on Facebook Marketplace. On top of that, the buyer is going to pay shipping. This other set is an example of a rare glass piece that we will pick up. Now, if you remember, we have phased out a lot of our glassware this year, but this Visionware, and particularly this set, we have found sells very well. So this set in particular, we actually picked up another one of these sets that we hadn't picked up before a few days ago, and it sold overnight on Facebook Marketplace for $85 plus $20 in shipping. The next day, so the day that the other set shipped out, we went out and found the exact same set for $15 at our local Goodwill. So we have 15 into this, and just amazing condition. Not a lot of blemish there on the bottom, very clear all the way through. So it was better condition, and we were okay paying up because we knew that it sold fast. And it did. It sold within a day again for $120, and that includes shipping, again, on Facebook Marketplace. So this set is unique. They're all made in USA. We have a 2.5 liter, a 1.5 liter, and a 1 liter. And the 1 liter has the spout, and the bigger one has this extra handle there. Apparently this is a great set to sell, so if you see it, don't sleep on it. And it is thicker glass, so it's a little bit better to ship, and we are going to walk through how we're shipping both of these sets later in this video, so stay tuned for that. For the last segment of over $100, let's see what's inside. Geo-Tracks! Lots and lots of Geo-Tracks. So this set, obviously it's huge, and that's really the value of this set, and the fact that we have 3 cars with their remotes. Again, the cars are what really sell these. Without the cars, the value goes a lot lower. Really, the rest of this is just tracks and little houses. Nothing that sells really well on its own by any means, but somebody is gonna get like a really nice set for their kids. They're gonna have lots of tracks, lots of buildings, hours of fun in this box. We sold this for $175. That is free ship, but we priced that in. We're already in the profit on this GeoTrax lot, so everything from this is already profit. And we will walk you through how we packed this as well. So again, stay tuned.
I'm going to show you how to pack up a lot of pots and pans. Remember, these are made out of metal. They're very hard to break. There could be some denting issues if they take a big tumble, but we've never had any concerns packing them this way. What I did first is I tore off several pieces of paper, this craft paper that we buy in rolls off of eBay for packing. And now all I'm going to do is wrap every single piece in paper. I'm not going to use any bubble wrap or any packing peanuts or anything like that. It's just going to be paper. Once I wrap the lid, just like that, I'm going to invert it. So once I wrap the lid, I simply invert it into the actual pan, and then I'm just going to wrap the pan from both directions. Let me do that real quick. That's it. It's that easy for pots and pans. The handlebar is going to stick out a little bit, but that's okay. We're just going to protect it when we put it in the box. We're just going to make sure that they face inside the box and just put more paper around it for padding. Now I'm simply going to repeat that process on every single one of these. Find a big enough box, pad the bottom of the box with craft paper, fill them up, pad the top and the corners with more packing paper, and that's it. I'm using an old or used Chewy box for this one that we got for free from our neighbors. So there's the pan, there's the big one, there are a couple small ones. I'm just going to get the rest of them packed up in here as well, and just make sure that there's no wiggle room inside the box. Here's what's remaining. So again, pretty easy. Just keep wrapping them. That's it. Let me finish it up. That's it. Plenty of room in here. So now I'm just going to take more of this craft paper and fill all of these voids. Everything fits super nice and snug. I try to get all the handles inverted so that they're not right against the cardboard, the exterior, because if it drops, that's where it's going to get damaged. That's it. So let us know in the comments below if this is helpful for you guys to see how we do this, so that you're not so timid or shy when it comes to selling these pots and pans. Next up, we're going to pack these three. Alright, on to the glassware. Obviously a little bit different because it's glass, not metal, and it's a bit more fragile. This is thicker glass, just like Mona said, so it's a little bit more difficult to damage it. So what we do is we use bubble wrap. We're going to bubble wrap each piece separately, so the lid and the pot separately. And then we're going to put them all in different boxes. So we're going to have 3 boxes. There's 1, 2, and 3. Not sure if these are the ones that are going to fit it or not. I just grabbed 3 for props. So once I bubble wrap them, put them in the boxes, then I'm going to put that in a larger box. And of course, this is the rearware we just finished up. So let me show you that process. Anytime that you're doing glassware, you want to be generous with the amount of bubble wrap that you use. So here, we're just going to simply lay down our bubble wrap and just wrap it. Once the lid is done, I'm going to use tape, and I'm going to tape it together to give it that little bit extra protection. So that's the lid. And the pot, I may use 2 or 3 pieces on. So we're going to fold it over, roll it. So now I'm going to use one more piece the other way, just to make sure that it's nice and tight. And again, I'm going to use tape to tape all around it to make sure that the bubble wrap is tight against the glass. Once that's done, I'm going to put these 2 together, find a box that fits them. Something like that, right? And then I'm going to do that for each one, and then tape each box closed, pad it, and then put it in a bigger box. I'll show you the step once we get to the bigger box. Okay, so I got all 3 pieces bubble wrapped into individual boxes, and then I found one big box that's going to be sturdy enough for all of them. And now I just have to fill the void. So I'm going to use craft paper or styrofoam or whatever just to fill all these gaps. And that's it. It's that simple. It does take a little bit of labor, of course, but once you do this once, you can do it easily several times over. Last one for packing tips is going to be the GeoTracks. Real quickly, I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So this last piece I decided to come and do outside with Tadi's help. She's going to help me pack it. Right, Tadi? Are you going to help? Are you going to try to get some sunlight? Yeah. It's beautiful with her since she's so brindle. When the sun comes out, you can really see the brindle, the gold in her. Beautiful. And the gray, the beautiful gray. So I have this heavy duty, heavy corrugate type box. And here's the GeoTracks lot. So my goal is to basically use scrap pieces of styrofoam like this one and pad the box all the way around, and then I'm just gonna fill it up with the tracks. I'm not gonna bubble wrap anything. And my hope is that as long as it all stays together and it's not loose, it's gonna be fine. We've done this before without any issues, so we trust that it's gonna work again. And then of course, these heavy duty boxes matter. So this is like a double corrugate box. You can tell here, it's not flimsy. It's gonna stay in the same shape throughout shipping. So it shouldn't be an issue. So let's do that. Here it is so far. So I've just created a border with the styrofoam and I'm just gonna start filling it so that it stays nice and tight in there. Here is about 90% of everything that's in here. It does have a lot of these big bulky pieces, so I filled up the bottom with those first. Then I used all of the smaller tracks and these bridge pieces to kind of fill in, just like you would with like you know, packing peanuts or something. This is what's left, so I'm just going to use that to fill it up, and I'm going to use all these scrap pieces of styrofoam and go ahead and finish it up, make sure that it's nice and sturdy, and that's it. Okie dokie, so I backfilled with all these scraps of styrofoam, and now it's going to go to Ohio. So that's it. Easy breezy, not that complicated. It's going to be a little bit noisy, but that's okay. Back to more sales. So as you know, we really like selling pre-owned footwear, boots, shoes, sandals, etc. online, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Poshmark primarily. We sold this pile here, but we're going to do something a little bit different, showing you each pair that sold. These beautiful Brooks Transcendence sold. Beautiful, stunning, just amazing. Nice neon green color. A solid $39 sale on eBay. These pinkies sold. The brand name, Crocs. Size on them are on the bottom. These glorious, beautiful, lightweight women's shoes sold for $27 with free shipping. These are a man's kind of shoe. Steel toe for that rough terrain. These bad boys sold for $44 with free shipping. Beautiful Timberlands with excellent treads. Look out for these. You'll be surprised what they could sell for. Just fantastic leather. Considering losing some weight? Going for a jog this spring? Check out these Sauconys. Just tremendous for running, jogging, or just walking around the block. These took a little while to sell, but we'll hold out for a $40 shoe sale. Saucony, for you. Perfect for a stroll around the park, a nursing job, or a hairdresser. These lightweight, beautifully made Danskos sold for $32 on Poshmark. They pay for shipping. These Merrells with a hint of pink sold for $39 on Facebook. We pay for shipping. Really nice, hiking, stylish, walking around, excellent treads without any damage. Look out for Merrell. We sell a lot of these shoes. These are beautiful running Dyad shoes from Brooks. Over $150 retail. These sold for $48. We pay for shipping on Facebook Marketplace. Excellent treads as always. These Dyads are surely going to shred those pounds off of you. Only the baddest women wear Harley boots. Going riding, styling, or just nightclubbing, these beautiful Harley boots will get the job done. $50 on Poshmark. They pay for shipping. Beautiful, beautiful Harleys. We filmed so many of these what sold videos, we have to spin it up and make it a little bit different. So I hope that just brought a smile to your face. We just thought of a creative way to present shoes to you. On average, we have about $7 into those shoes, so good profit margins. The Crocs, a little bit lower profit margin, but they'll ship first class. The Harleys, we could have gotten more from, but we listened to experts like Rally Roots and Nicole State. When it comes to clothing and shoes, we really want a fair offer and we want this stuff gone. We don't want to sit on it for a long time. So yes, we could have maybe gotten $70 or $80 for those Harleys, but we paid average of $7, sold them for 50 plus shipping. We're happy with that. Melissa's gonna be right back. She'll show you the next category that's sold.
Okay, so this is a games entertainment category. I will start with games. This first one is a Risk Halo Wars. The pieces are like translucent. That's sort of the thing about it. It's complete. We always check our games to make sure they're complete. We set them up. We have $4 into this and it sold for $40. Risk is a pretty good brand of games to look out for. You can check comps, of course, but generally speaking, it is a game that sells well. This next one is a Princess Bride game. It's a cult classic movie if you're not familiar with it. Also have $4 into this one and didn't realize it was sealed, so it's brand new in box. That was just a bonus. We sold this for $50. We also sold this Sega Genesis game. It was just a leftover one from a lot that we've already made our profit on. So we have about $1 into it, and this one sold for $15. So this remote we got for free. It was a Facebook Marketplace pickup, but it was this person just giving their cars away for free. And it didn't match any of the big cars in there. But it was the only one listed for it on eBay. And the last one that sold for $20. But we had the only one. And we upped the price for demand reasons. And it sold for $35. And it's very light. It'll probably ship first class. And the last few are some more CD lots. We've been selling these steadily still, a few here and there. This weekend we sold 3 sets. Now we have 25 cents into each CD, so $1 into the Roots, and this set sold for $20. We also sold this Nas CD lot, so $1.50, and his CDs sold for $29. And the last one is good old classic Garth Brooks. Also $1.50 into this lot. He sold for $25 and it's going international. Adine's gonna come back, go over some more stuff.
The next category is primarily housewares, but the first one is not really housewares, so I'll show you that one first. This is a really cool one. It's De La Hoya versus Chavez, dated 1996. It's a poster. I'm not gonna unroll it completely. It was actually brand new, but sealed when we bought it. We bought a bunch of them for 10 cents each at our honey hole, and this one specifically sold for $45 free shipping, and it'll ship first class. The cool thing about this one is that there is none like it, and we already sold 3 other posters. They were Nike athletic posters for $170 shipped, which is awesome. So obviously well into the profit when we only paid 10 cents a poster. The reason why we decided to take them out of the plastic is because it was really hard to identify them. It did have a number and a name on it, but we couldn't exactly find these posters to make sure that's what they are, and we definitely didn't want any hassle. So we took them all out and we put, as you can see, the title new, just opened or something like that. So anyways, super happy. We have a few more of these to go. Next up is this Every Drop water filter. It's open box, brand new. I paid up for it. I paid $9, but the sell-through rate was really high. It only sold for $30 with free shipping, so it's only about a $10 profit, but it sold within a day. So I'll gladly pay up for something that I can make just a quick 10 bucks and get it out the door, especially if it's brand new or open box and super easy to identify. Another pots, pants. This is just a little Great Norris vintage pot. It's also a copper bottom. It's not a Footwear, so like Melinda said, the Footwear have a very distinct look to them. This one was just kind of thrown in. We have about $1 into it, and it sold for $25 with free shipping. It wobbles and the handle is a little bit loose, so not super valuable. And it took a while. It took about 4 months to sell it, but hey, it's out the door. We've never seen this brand before. If we do, again, we'll probably pass on it, or maybe if we see a lot of them, we'll buy them and then sell as a lot, because individually they're not worth much. This next one, you know, some of our favorite things to sell. It's another slow cooker. This one took about a month and a half to sell. We picked it up for $7 at a thrift store, and it sold for $65 shipped. The one thing to point out is the inside here. You always want to check if something is Teflon coated to make sure it's not too beat up. This one did have some scratching in it, but overall really nice condition. So just keep that in mind, especially with these older items. We're gonna pack this up carefully by separating each piece, bubble wrapping, and then the glass piece we'll probably put inside of a box or something just to keep it separate. So look out for these. We've sold 2 out of 2 that we found. We have another one that we recently found that we're just getting listed this week. So it seems like this color wave, this type of design does really well. Oh, it's heavy. This one we covered in one of our thrifting trips. So you saw us pick this guy up for $10 at a Salvation Army. Look out for these old school, simple Osterizers with the glass jugs. We've covered these before. They sell really well for us. We've sold 100% of every single blender like this that we've ever listed. So definitely a demand for them. They're just extremely well built. This one again we picked up for $10, sold it for $59 shipped. It's going to cost about $15 to ship it. We might be able to put in a 12 by 12 box. We'll see. So again, separate, bubble wrap each piece. I'm going to get this stuff done, and then Melinda's going to come back with some electronics and one article of clothing that's sold this weekend. Melinda is packing up that waistband, so here's a preview what it's going to look like. Just wanted to show this in case anybody's curious. We did buy these tubes, I think 5 or 6 for 25 bucks on Amazon. That's how we're going to ship the poster. So I wouldn't really recommend shipping them any other way besides these tubes.
Real quick, a few things that we had already packed up and shipped that we sold on Friday. One is a vintage Greatland Express train. This was just the locomotive and it did have a crack in it. So we took an offer of $25 on it. The whole set was only $7 and we had already sold a piece for $35, so we're in the profit on that. And then we also sold a pair of silver capri jeans for $31.50. Those were on an offer as well. We are starting to see crops and capri pants sell a little bit more, just of course because it's coming into summer. We also sold a few pair of shoes on Friday that we sent out as well. On Posh, we sold a pair of Keen women's utility. These have a steel toe. These were sitting for a while, so I sent out an offer which they accepted, which was $30 with just $2 discounted shipping. We also sold a pair of Merrell jogging shoes for $38. And also a pair of Solomon, another great brand of shoes. They generally sell very well. These did have some damage to them, but they still sold for $38, free shipping. So we have a few more VCRs that we sold this weekend. This top one, it is a GE, no remote, just sold as is, works nicely. This one sold on Etsy for $75 shipped. The next two sold really fast. We picked them up on a thrifting trip, and it was just one we happened to stop into. I think we recorded it on our last thrift video. We paid $7 a piece and they both sold within 24 hours. The first is this RCA. This sold on eBay. It sold for $60 shipped. And this Magnavox sold on Facebook Marketplace for $55 and they paid $20 in shipping. They were both ready to go. They worked very smoothly. One of them did have the remote, the Magnavox, and of course all of these will come with AV cables even if they don't have the remote. We also sold this Nike Oregon Ducks. It's a rain jacket. Good quality. It doesn't have the hood any longer. It used to have it. It's a snap-on. We have 7 into this and it sold for $37 shipped on eBay. One last sale. This is an Etsy sale. This is a lot of wherever pots and pans. We have maybe 15 into everything here and it sold for $64. Some are Teflon, some are not, some have lids, some don't. It's actually kind of a hodgepodge of pieces we had laying around that we just kind of wanted to move. But we did lot them up and it worked. They're out the door, 64 shipped. We're gonna come back and do the numbers with you. So we have everything packed, as you can see. We're just about ready to head to the post office and UPS, drop some boxes off. And we normally do this on our table, but it was a lot easier to just film in front of the boxes down here on our lovely floor.
Yeah, it's a lot of weight in there. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we did a little bit over 2,000. So our gross sales, this is the amount that they've paid us plus shipping, because we have a free shipping model, was $2,103.
Which is great. That's a really good weekend for us. That's a very strong weekend. Ideally, this would be a normal weekend for us, but as it is, this is a very strong weekend. Very proud of those numbers.
For sure. So if you do the simple math, 52 weeks in a year, if you do $2,000 a weekend, that's over 100,000 just on the weekend. So pretty happy with that.
It also works out to about $700 a day, and we generally shoot for about $500 a day on the weekend. So that's above what we, aim for. And then right now during the week is about 400 a day. So that's good average.
Yeah, for sure. The total cost of goods was roughly $325. What was some of the most expensive stuff? I know there was the
Revere wear.
Yep, that's about 45
Yeah,
bucks.
that was about 45, and we didn't really have a big cost of goods this weekend.
No.
Really.
No, some of the VCRs we have to get repaired by our technicians, so they cost a little bit more. But overall, pretty good. Not crazy. Another way to think about it is we turned $325 into $2,100 in sales, which is good.
Yeah, 7 times your money.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, for sure. Fees, we averaged 14%. $294 is what we paid these platforms.
Yep, that's your pay to play fee. So you pay them, you get to sell.
Yep. We offer free shipping. Poshmark, they pay for shipping, and then on some of the Facebook Marketplace orders, they pay for shipping. Total shipping cost was $278.
I think that's great. I mean, that's a small fraction of what it is. So it's cost of doing business. If you're going to sell stuff on the internet, you have to ship it out. So
Yeah, about 10%.
happy with that. Yeah.
So our net profit is $1,206 net.
That's right. That is before taxes. So that's what we have after everything we just took out.
Yep.
Okay.
And then taxes, we put away 30%, but we don't necessarily pay 30%. And I'll let Melinda talk a little bit more about that. But taxes, we're going to put away $362 for this weekend.
Right. So 30% may seem a little bit high, but when you're talking about paying the federal government, your state government, and we also pay our local government in taxes. So that all adds up. And again, it's a cost of doing business. We have no reason to hide any of our money or anything. It benefits us to pay those taxes. It benefits us to keep track of what we're selling. And look, you pay it a few times a year. We've started paying quarterly this year. So we're going to pay out 4 times. And then at the end of the year, hopefully by overcompensating our numbers, we won't have to pay anything in. Because that's essentially what had been happening the last 2 years. Instead of a big chunk of change, we'd prefer to keep those to more reasonable amounts and not have to worry about a big deduction at the end of the year. Obviously, talk to your own CPA, talk to your own tax professionals, and figure out what works for you, what works for your business model, and what your percentage will be.
And remember, we also have, so it gets a little bit complicated. So again, like Melinda said, consult with your CPA. And just keep in mind, just because we put away 30% doesn't necessarily mean we're going to pay 30%. We have deductions like square footage of space used in our house, mileage, cell phone bills, health insurance, internet bills, so many other things. Yeah. So you have to consult with your CPA so you understand what you can write off. And that's why, you just have to keep track of your numbers, because if you don't, you may think, well, I sold $50,000. I owe $50,000. I owe taxes on $50,000, which is not necessarily the case. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and we also like to be on the side of caution. We would rather over-prepare than be under-prepared at any point in time during our business. And we still have plenty that we're able to reinvest back into business. That may be a concern for people. Well, if I'm taking 30% off, well, what can I have to spend on goods the next week? That's covered. We have built up a nice safety net into our business savings account, where some weeks if we spend more, some weeks we spend less, it's all going to average out, and we have a very healthy account to cover that. We're not worried about that. So every situation is different, but we just wanted to address that because we have had comments that's wow, it's a lot of money. But again, better safe than sorry in our opinion.
So after taxes, we were left with $844 cash. That's the actual amount that's going to stay in our bank account. Like Melinda said, we may reinvest it, do whatever, live off of it, et cetera, et cetera. So that's really, in my opinion, pretty awesome. So 3 days of sales, almost $850 cash. We'll take it. That's going to do it for us. We're going to sign off. Like Melinda mentioned, we got to go drop the stuff off. It's not going to deliver itself. So we're going to run and do that. And thanks again, everyone that joined the live premiere. And thanks to everyone that watches the video afterwards. We appreciate it. And yeah.
As always, if you found value in this video,
again, please consider giving us the thumbs up and subscribing. And we really do hope that you learned something in this video. That's our aim in every one of these videos that we do.
Yeah, and ask questions if you have questions. We'll gladly answer them. We've answered 100% of every single question, comment ever left on our YouTube channel. So we'll definitely do that. Until next time.
Take care, everybody.
Take care.